Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you saw my writers not writing tag that I put up last week, you'll know that one of the things I said I was passionate about was late medieval history. This wasn't always the case, and I thought it would be an interesting story to tell you today. When I was in school, I don't really remember doing any medieval history. Well, no, that's not true. I remember some, but not a lot at all. I remember doing the Battle of Hastings, so 1066, right at the beginning of the medieval period. I remember doing the Black Death, but again we mostly focused on the Renaissance period when it came back, as in 1665. And I remember doing a very small amount on the Crusades. And then I discovered the works of Tamara Pierce. If you haven't read her, these are still some of my favourite books. YA medieval fantasy about this series is about a girl who hides her sex to become a knight, and I was hooked. I wanted to live in a castle and fight with a sword, and it wasn't that long after that I read Lord of the Rings as well, which I think completely cemented that for me. But again, I didn't really find actual history that interesting. It still seemed like a bunch of dry dates and lists of kings and things. Then, in the early 2000s, I discovered a possibly quite obscure now British TV documentary series called Two Men in a Trench. This changed things big time for me. These were two guys who were very into experimental archaeology. The thing that sticks most in my mind is they wanted to demonstrate just how flexible medieval armour was. So they went and played a round of golf between the two of them in full plate harness. And yeah, but I remember saying to my mum at the time that this is what I want. I want people to make history interesting for me. So, long story short, that plus my interest in medieval fantasy, I got interested in joining a reenactment group. I did a quick Google, I found a group in northwest London, went and saw one of their shows. I was, yes, I want to do this. This is awesome. Didn't end up joining that group, but they put me in touch with another group who I went to see. Yeah, I saw one show and I signed up there and then. I was in love. I will admit, I did join because I wanted to learn how to fight, and I thought that the battles were awesome and it would be so much fun. If I'd known about HEMA at the time, that is, if you've not heard of that, that is historical European martial arts, and there are a lot of channels on YouTube that are dedicated to that. I probably would have just got into that and not the reenactment side of things, but I am so glad I did, because when I was there I discovered living history, and these people bring history alive. It really is a living thing. I will link below a very recent video by Lindy Beige where he went to a Roman reenactment and was talking to some of the guys there about what they were wearing and what they were eating, and it will give you a slightly better idea of what I'm talking about. But these people try to recreate historical encampments as accurately as possible, and between them there is a huge wealth of knowledge that as a writer is a really great resource that I think is really undervalued. So rather than going to a library and looking through a load of books to try and find your answers to very specific things, which is also a very valuable way of spending your time, I'm not going to stop you doing that, you can go and talk to someone who does medieval leatherwork, who uses the techniques that were used at the time, and knows what all the tools are, what they're used for, why they're used. I know people, I was taught how to fletch my own arrows. That's not a useful skill in everyday life, but if I ever need to write about someone doing that, I know what to do. I know someone who makes jewellery. It's beautiful. And he again uses the same techniques. Just wander around an encampment and see all the different things that you wouldn't think of. You can experience, it is the next best thing to going back to medieval times. I will pop some pictures here so you can see what I'm talking about. I'm the one in the red dress, in case you're wondering. Sometimes I've got a green jacket on over that. But yeah, it gave me an opportunity to find out what life was actually like for a medieval woman. And I got to do some incredibly cool things. I have fired a trebuchet. I have my own longbow now. I used to shoot. Like I said, I fletched my own arrows, and all of these things are little snippets that have made it into different projects I've done. I did at one point write a novel that has since been shelved, and I don't think it's going to be unshelved anytime soon, about a reenactor who actually went back in time to the period that he recreates, and gets to see how different things actually are. And the other thing is, it's not just medieval people. People recreate and do living history for all sorts of time periods. There are Elizabethan ones, there are World War II ones, there is everything in between. If you are interested in any of this, go to an event, really. I cannot stress enough just how many little snippets of random things I picked up just by talking to other people. I now know things about history. I can point to specific points in British history where the entire course of our future was changed because of one person. I think that is an amazing thing to be able to be a part of. I cannot wait for lockdown to be over so I can go back and experience all these amazing things again. And I would totally encourage you, if there are events in your area, to go along, even if it's not a period that you're interested in writing about, because you might learn something that ties into something else. But they are a fantastic resource, and I would highly encourage you to go check some out. And I think that's... And as you can see, this is something I have gone from being kind of blasé and that's the boring subject, to really, really being passionate and enthusiastic about these things. And that is a great thing. So I'm going to leave it there, because I think I have waffled long enough about how amazing these experiences I have been. As soon as lockdown is over, I really want to go out and find an event and go talk to people again. And I would encourage you to do the same. Or if you're in America, even just go to some Ren fairs. I know that historical accuracy on Ren fairs is... yeah. But it will give you an idea of some of the things you can then look at further. It'll give you a starting point. Bernadette Banner recently posted a video of last year's New York Ren Fair, which again I'll link down below, because I had so much fun watching that. It was just like, oh yes, I remember going. And so yes, I'm going to leave this here because I have waffled at you for far too long on this subject, and it is just becoming a waffle now of me very excitedly saying, reenactments are amazing! So if there was anything in this video that you did enjoy, please leave me a thumbs up. Comments and suggestions, as always, go down below. If you know of any other videos that people have gone to reenactments or Ren fairs, again, drop those down below. I'd love to watch them. And I will see you all next time. Goodbye. Hello and welcome back to my channel. I thought what's the amount on the Crusades. And there's a car going past. And then go talk to someone who spends their whole time, well, not their whole time, they've possibly got a day job as well. Just gonna wait for that noisy car to get past. I think he's just pulling up. No, he's going. Okay, bye car.